Editing is by far the thing that takes up the most of my time. I really love editing, actually. I find that it's an enjoyable process, but when a project takes you 40 hours, you get tired of it. Eventually, it starts taking its toll out on you, where we're not actually thinking in the most creative sense. We're just doing it for the sake of doing it and getting the job done, which that has its place, but that's not the type of editor that I want to be. I don't want to be someone that's making decisions because I'm exhausted. I want to be making decisions because I think that that's going to tell the story best. What are some ways that you can get your life back, where you can take less time editing and spending time doing other things that we enjoy? Now, I'm just going to say it, all of these tips are completely useless if you don't have the right hardware. This isn't like the best and most advanced computer ever, but it does the job very well, and it suits my needs perfectly for what I get out of it. But if I were editing with the kind of computer I was using in high school, yeah. I actually did try editing a lot of videos on there, and it was a nightmare. It was an absolute nightmare. I'm not saying that you can't edit something on a crappy computer. It's just kind of like using a screwdriver instead of a power drill. Yes, you can get it done with a screwdriver, but a power drill is a lot more ideal. If your tools are getting in your way and you can't do your job because of the limitations that you have, then they're not serving you, and you need to look into changing that. There's lots of videos out there that tell you exactly what makes a good computer and what doesn't, and it shows you the process. It's not that hard. I highly recommend building your own editing PC because you're gonna get a lot more power for your dollar. But also the time that you invest in learning how to build it, that's time, energy, and knowledge that you're going to be using for the rest of your life. Because of that time that I spent researching about computers, now I know so much more about overclocking my CPU and getting better graphics out of my card and how to upgrade my RAM. Like, all of that, that's valuable information, and I wouldn't be able to get half the performance out of this laptop if I didn't actually invest in the time to educate myself and invest in learning how to build a proper video computer. But computers are only going to take you so far. Even the most powerful computers have their limitations. So what are some tips and tricks that I use while editing a video like this? Well, this is something else that I highly recommend investing in. If you spend any time at all as a video editor, buy one of these. This has saved me thousands of hours, and that's not an exaggeration. This is a gaming mouse. It cost me $20. $20 for this thing. And is it the best gaming mouse? No, but it has a couple tricks up its sleeve. What you can do is you can actually program these buttons. Normally these buttons are meant for making the mouse a little bit faster while you're playing, or working as a shooting button. People can program these buttons to do whatever they want. However, that's not what I use these buttons for. I use these buttons to zoom in and out of my timeline, and I find that to save me hundreds of hours, thousands of hours. And I also have this button right here, which cuts the clips. Then I have the button that's right beside it, and that's just the standard cursor.
Just hope you don't talk like that around children.
There's not many tools out there that are that cheap and are going to save you that much time. So invest in your craft. And you don't necessarily need to buy this model. You can buy another model as long as it has programmable buttons. I'll leave a link in the description down below, and you can pick one of these guys up. But yeah, these are really amazing, and I love them so much. And you don't necessarily need to follow the shortcuts that I've used for those buttons. If you have your own buttons that you click commonly, then by all means, go ahead and program those. Now, I also want to talk to you guys about another shortcut that I use. And this shortcut has also saved me hundreds of hours. And I only discovered it about, I don't know, maybe 3 months ago, 4 months ago. So often what happens is you have to delete chunks of your video. You thought that it was going to be in there, but it just doesn't fit. It's slowing down the pacing, or it just needs to be slimmed down. So what do? Well, you click over here and you drag your mouse along to be able to select everything. Then you have everything selected, and then you click over and you drag it along, and then I click play, and then I just see, oh, wait a second, it wasn't quite how far I wanted it to be. And then I have to go and do that process all over again. It takes forever. And I had been doing this was part of my workflow for quite a while. And I was looking for a solution like this for a really long time, and there really wasn't anything that was really available. Now there is the delete function. You can click the space that is between the clips, click delete, and then they will kind of merge together, and then everything will be dragging along. But that changes everything, or maybe things just don't really fit. Maybe you're kind of getting this wedge, or things are getting interrupted. Timelines can get very hairy very quickly. I'm just talking about a basic keyboard shortcut to select everything after a point. This seems like something that is fundamental, yet I had to go in deep into my menu to be able to dig this function out. And once I did it, and once I discovered it, yes! Like literally 3 years after I've been a faithful user of DaVinci Resolve, I had no idea that this was a function that I could do. But then again, it's also like the most hidden away function on the keyboard ever. There are all kinds of features that the keyboard has that I haven't even noticed or don't really impact my workflow that much, so I don't use them. And in my case, I didn't use Y for something that was really crucial, so I changed it from being whatever it was before to this feature, which is to select everything after my play back line thing. What is this called? Now, I don't know if this shortcut is the same on Premiere Pro and DaVinci Resolve, Final Cut Pro, and whatever editor you use. I don't know if it's the same. But on DaVinci Resolve, it used to be Alt-Y. And I changed that from being Alt-Y to just Y because that just makes my life a little bit faster. Rather than having to click on 2 buttons, I'm only clicking on 1. So by doing that, you're increasing your workflow and you're making your life just a lot faster, a lot easier. And you know what? If you're clicking on buttons like, you know, your fingers are doing this weird yoga thing where you're going Shift, Control, Q, P, L, dash, M, space. If your fingers ever look something like that, you're doing it wrong. You can just go ahead into your keyboard customization menu and change it. So let me know in the comments down below if this has actually helped you and the workflow that you do and the way that you edit today. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure you subscribe and hit that like button, do all that jazz, and I will see you next time. Take care. If you didn't select everything properly, then going... Why do I look like I'm wearing lipstick? I don't think I was recording any of that. Haha, I figured out how to turn on a camera from across the room. Just use a big stick. My friend Dino gave me this stick. Hey Dino.